I want to shave my head right now. That's what I want to do. But what I want to do is not the thing that I'm going to do. I feel it's important that I'm honest and direct and I tell how I actually feel. And in this moment, on this day, at this time, I am having flashbacks of back in the spring when I would just get that Remington and it just felt so right and it looked so right. And that was me looking at my hair thinking, this is the right look for me. That's how I feel. That's what I want to do. But I'm not going to do it. And we've already been through the reasons why I'm not going to. We've already talked about that there are certain expectations from my family that they want to see this version of me. You know, it's funny. Actually, right here in this cabinet here, I've got this picture. That's funny. I didn't even think about that as I was doing this video, but you know, I look at this picture and I look where my son drew me with the hat on. And it's like, for him right now, that's who he wants me to be this and not have to draw a hat on me. But that's what I want to do. And I think I for myself, for no other reason, I need to make this video to remind myself that it's not just me that feels this way. It's not, imagine a world where we could have the hair that we want. And it's funny because for me, honestly, the hair that I want is not that it'll be thicker and perfect and all these things. It's just that I could be the zero guard buzz cut guy with the beard. That's who I want to be. And it's funny because I think the irony is for so many of you that are young and losing your hair, all you really want is to be the guy that still has all of his hair. That's the thing that you wish you could be. When you look in the mirror, you hope that magically your hair will start growing back in thicker instead of overanalyzing and think, oh man, it's going up, it's thinning. That's the irony. The irony is that so many of my viewers, that's what they want. And for me, I want the opposite. I just want to be done with this so that I can move on with my life. I don't like seeing the imperfections. I don't like being able to think, if my hair's not a certain way, then my scalp will show through. Now, am I bothered by this? Not to the point that it bothers my self-esteem or anything like that. But to the point where I think, man, if I could just shave my head, then I wouldn't have to worry about it right now. So I just want to point out the irony in our relationship. The relationship that we have is that people want to keep their hair and they watch my channel and subscribe to it. Meanwhile, the actual host is ready just to be done with it so he can lose enough hair to shave it off. This death wish for my hair. That's the irony of it. But I'm not going to until that day comes. I'm about 2.5 years away from turning 40 now. So maybe by then it'll help. Now at the same time, it's not like, oh, I want to go bald right now, hurry up. No, because I'm Nick Shell. And Nick Shell does not focus on things he cannot control. He focuses on the things that he can control. Like finishing the deal when I lose enough hair. But for right now, I will be what people need me to be, and that is, people need me. People that need me the most in their life need me to be this guy. Because I think those same people know that when I lose enough hair, then I can just shave it off and be done with it anyway, and adopt that side of me, that alter ego that really is the actual me. So yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like, you know what? And many of you could be, 19, 20, thinking, man, I wish I had as much hair as you have, or I wish I could have as much hair when I'm your age. And meanwhile, I think it's just the irony. The irony is, I don't need this. It's just dead weight. It's not helping me any. There's nothing about my hair that's helping me. It's just one more thing to think, it's on that line. And see, that's the thing I've talked about, that masculinity is about being decisive, And I think that's, if anything about my hair bothers me, it's that it's not this, for me, is not an extension of my identity, which is to be masculine, to be decisive. So when I look at my hair and I see the hairline and I see the diffuse thinning, and I think the way to make this perfect is just to shave it off with a zero guard. That's how this is not an extension of who I am on the inside. But at the same time, it caters to how other people need to see me. Other people need to see me often as the beta male that I shift gears and become. That's not my natural identity. I'm going to keep talking about this because this is what I'm sorting out right now. That for me, I am actually an alpha male, but I have to pretend it often in much of my life, throughout the day at my job, with my family, and even with many of you. I have to pretend to be a beta so that you'll respond better to me. And again, I'm outing myself. The whole thing about me, anything you believe about hair loss is true in your own mind. I say that because certain people need to hear that. They need to think that they're watching a beta here, because that's something a beta would say. And so I become what other people need me to be, because overall, I think that's how men are successful. Sometimes you're an alpha, sometimes you're a beta, and sometimes you're omega. But ultimately, one of those is my default is alpha. And an alpha male, for me personally, is someone that is a zero guard buzz cut. This hair is not an extension of who I feel like I am in the inside at this stage in my life. That's what I'm actually sorting out in real time right now. I'm being real with you. Now, tell me how I'm wrong and how I shouldn't keep my hair just because the people I love the most want me to keep it. Tell me that, and tell me how I'm a hypocrite right here in the comments.